I can describe physical properties of matter: viscosity, resistance to flowing, hardness when an object is scratched, conductivity, heat to flow, malleability, hammered without shattering, melting point, solid to liquid, boiling point, liquid to gas. This picture is a solid to a liquid and a solid to a gas. I can identify substance based on physical properties. You can identify substances by physical properties like transparent, hard, soft, glass, small, big, rubber, plastic, round, triangular, rectangular. You could use small, big, circular, rectangular to identify substances.
Learning target number 3 is I can apply properties to be used to choose materials. Properties determine when materials are chosen for which uses. For example, you wouldn't want wood or glass to be used as shoelaces because they aren't durable and they would break. You'd want a shoelace to be out of something that's durable like cotton so that it would fit in your shoe correctly. Learning target number 4 is I can describe methods used to separate mixtures. Two most common methods to separate mixtures are filtration and distillation. A filtration is a process that separates materials based on their size of their particles. So if there's different particles in a liquid, you would use a strainer to separate the two different substances. The next substance is distillation. It is a process that separates the substances of a solution based on their boiling points. So you would put a liquid over the heat so that it would separate the mixtures of anything that's inside of it.
Learning target number 5 is I can use evidence that indicates a physical change. Physical change occurs when some of the properties in a material change but the substances in the material remain the same. For example, this volcano. It's melting, but it also can be reversible.
I can describe the chemical properties of matter. Observing chemical properties, flammability and reactivity. Chemical properties can be observed only when the substance and sample of matter are changing in different substances. So this picture, this is flammability. On top, this is supposed to be fire. And this is milk to lemon juice. Yeah.
Okay, so the 7th learning target is I can describe clues that indicate that a chemical change is taking place. So when applying properties to a material, the property may be a constant or a function of one or more independent variables, such as temperature. Properties often vary to some degrees according to the direction in the materials in which they're measured. So for example, here we have color changing from blue to green, and we also have solid changing to a liquid, and liquid changing to a gas. Alright, and so now we have learning target 8, which is I can distinguish a chemical's changes from physical changes. There are several differences between a physical change and a chemical change in matter or substances. A physical change in a substance doesn't change what the substance is. In a chemical change, where there's a chemical reaction, a new substance is formed, and energy is either given off or absorbed. So in this image, we have hair being dyed from black to say brown or blue if you really like that. And we also have a tree breaking, because it's a physical change because the tree is standing and say something like wind, or wind comes across and like snaps the tree in half, and yeah.
First question is physical and chemical change the same? And the answer is no. Physical change is something that is reversible, and chemical change is something that cannot be reversible. Number 2 is,
What is an example of physical change?
an example of physical change is like cutting hair. It can be reversed.
Question number 3 is, what is an example of a chemical change?
An example of chemical change is hair dye.